When I think of the joy of presents, I often think, probably like most people, of the joy of receiving. And first thing that came to mind for me was gifts like this, this Lego kit that I receive with great joy. Absolutely, because I know that the amount of fun that I'm going to have making it, and it's going to be just such an awesome experience. But then I also remember the joy of giving and what a wonderful experience that can be too. And then I think of this one here. Now I have to hold it a little bit closer so that it doesn't look quite as small as it really is. This is the present that we gave to Jonah at his last birthday. And I know what you're thinking. I'm Scottish, so you're thinking, well, the joy of giving was greater because I didn't spend as much on this one as was probably spent on that one. But that's not the case. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying the joy of giving, seeing Jonah open it and the joy in his face when he opened it and sharing that joy, that moment, and then also seeing the joy of making it, creating it, seeing it all forming and taking shape. That was an incredible experience. And just doing it alongside him and now playing with it now that it's made, and the fact that he realizes the steering works and the pistons move up and down and these sorts of things. He's just over the moon, and that joy is shared by me. And so when I think of this passage here, I'm thinking of joy of presents at Christmas time. Let me explain. In Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 and 2, it says this: Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out with us. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. And I think of this passage, and you're thinking, Andy, I don't know if I should tell you this, but that's actually an Easter passage, not a Christmas passage. But the whole thing is the race in light of how we see it. Yes, it's about Easter, but the start of the Easter story is not about a sprint over a weekend, it's about a lifetime given. And that lifetime, as far as we see it in created beings, as humans, we see it from the start of Christmas when that race began. Because at that moment, Jesus was fully committed. He was all in. And he knew the race that he was going to run from very early on. He knew what was going to happen. And he had to make that decision. That prize of joy for him had to be what kept him going, striving for the 33 years that he was on earth, to live that perfect life, to be that perfect sacrifice. And I remember one of the few trophies that I've ever won. I was dressed in a Christmas outfit, full Christmas outfit, running in the summer heat through Belfast and taking part in a scavenger hunt. Not for the little trophy that I won primarily, although that was lovely, but because I knew that there was a greater prize. That greater prize was money that would be campership, that would be money to let a kid come to camp with me and experience camp with me. And while they were at camp, they would have the best week of their lives, and they would also hear this story that we're sharing right now, the excitement of a gift being given, the joy of a gift being given personally for them, wrapped and in a bow with their name on it, consciously decision that they're invited, they're part of this. And when we sing our Christmas songs, we sing rightly of the joy that came to earth, that makes us full of joy because God is with us. And rightly, we are filled with joy and filled with wonder at the mystery of this incredible story of God with us. The human race rejoices that God is with us at Christmas time. But just as much, let's also remember the joy of God with us, the joy brought to God by being part of us. For the joy set before him, he endured the suffering of the cross. It is a joy for God. He rejoices that he gets to spend time with you uninterrupted by that hindrance of sin. He wants to actually spend time with you, with me, this Christmas. That's his joy. And for me, that's the greater joy. In the same way as the adventure of building with Jonah has been a greater joy for me even than building the bigger car on my own. The bigger joy here is God this Christmas with you. How are you going to celebrate this Christmas with God? What a joy.